The following is the National Day of Reflection message on the first anniversary of Hurricane Irma by Governor of St. Martin, His Excellency Dr. Anders Eugene Holliday.
To the people of St. Martin who experienced the impact of Hurricane Irma, to all who worked and continue to work to address the effects of the hurricane, my fellow St. Martiners. In the 4-day morning of September 6, 2017, 1 year ago today, Hurricane Irma, the strongest Atlantic hurricane on record, made landfall on our island. Some 8 hours later, it left, having claimed the lives of 2 persons on St. Martin, 11 lives on St. Martin, and having caused extensive damage and destruction throughout the island. While taking stock of the damage to our physical infrastructure and to our natural environment, I was saddened to see the unlawful and inexcusable looting of some. That behavior clearly did not do justice to who we are as a people. Behavior that only made matters more difficult for all of us. Today, however, as we reflect, let us remember and honor the many persons, the vast majority of our people, who represented our true St. Martin spirit. Persons who throughout our neighborhoods picked themselves up to help kickstart the response and recovery of St. Martin. And as we do so, let us not forget that our people did so under tense circumstances. That is, in the face of the fact that 3 days after the passing of Irma, we had to take cover for the threat of the passing of Hurricane Jose, which thankfully did not make landfall. And 13 days after Irma, on September 19th, we were again forced to brace for the impact of Hurricane Maria. We have experienced hurricanes before. However, no one who was on St. Martin during and direct after Hurricane Irma will ever forget the force of her devastating winds. The emotional, social, and economic impact and effects of Hurricane Irma will be felt for a long, long time to come. I was and continue to be deeply moved, having seen the damage to property and heard of the heartbreaking loss of treasured goods of so many directly after the hurricane. In the 1 year since, I have heard of more experiences and perilous situations which persons have found themselves in during the hurricane. I therefore stand with them in awe, thankful to God that they are with us today. Thus, as we reflect on this first anniversary of Hurricane Irma, my heart reaches out to those families who lost loved ones and to those who struggle to deal with the difficult memories of their experiences. Listening to their personal accounts and having seen the extent of the damage to our country's physical infrastructure reminds me of the strength and resilience of our people. No sectors were spared. Our private and public infrastructure was severely damaged. Our homes, businesses, hotels, airport, utilities, and government infrastructure were affected, resulting in a loss in economic activity, business revenues, taxes, and employment. In short, we were knocked down flat on our back. But as a strong and resilient people, we got back up, dusted ourselves off, and went to work with the support of our kingdom partners. That is, we went to work removing and clearing trees and other debris to make roads accessible, managing shelters, controlling of checkpoints to maintain law and order, restoring telecommunication, repairing of damaged buildings, distributing water, food, and other necessities, reopening critical businesses such as supermarkets, banks, and gas stations, rebuilding our homes, reopening our schools, and so on and so forth. Where people work, there will be differences, doubts, and setbacks. And yes, we have had our fair share of such. But through it all, our spirit of resilience always shined through. That bolstered by inspirational messages from songs such as "Starting All Over Again," "It's Going to Be Rough, but We Are Going to Make It," by our own Kenyo Bailey. As a result, public life was restored to make way to work on our socio-economic recovery. With an eye on the future, we can say that a lot has been done to date, including reaching agreement with the Netherlands to make $580 million available through the World Bank to fund the agreed-upon National Recovery and Resilience Plan. At the same time, we must acknowledge that there is still much, much more to be done. In that respect, we are to remember our brothers and sisters who are still without a home or job, lost during the hurricane. Let us, government, businesses, and individuals, therefore, in our reflections, continue to embrace our obligation one to another. That is, to continue to do everything necessary to ensure that we make it and that no one gets left behind. While we still have a long way to go, today's reflection on the first anniversary of Irma will not be complete without a word of gratefulness and appreciation for our progress thus far. Gratefulness to the many persons who, having suffered damage to their property themselves, left their own families behind, came out or continue to come out under difficult circumstances to make progress possible. Persons such as the members of the disaster management team and their support staff, firefighters, medical professionals, law enforcement officers, technicians, and business owners and their employees, as well as many volunteers and local and international organizations such as the Red Cross, Quad Air, USAID, AIDRA, and Samaritan's Purse. Gratefulness to our kingdom partners, the Netherlands, Aruba, and Curaçao, who through the deployment of military forces and police officers have made invaluable contributions to the response and recovery efforts. An appreciation for the financial support made available by the Netherlands for the recovery plans. To all who contributed and continue to do so, I say thank you for your service to the people of St. Martin. As we reflect on Hurricane Irma and work to rebuild and recover, we are to keep in our thoughts our brothers and sisters on the northern side of the island, as well as those of Saba and St. Eustatius. We wish them strength as they too seek to rebuild and recover. Going forward, we are to remind each other that we will need everyone to join in to rebuild our nation's infrastructure one day at a time. Today, tomorrow, and each day thereafter, we must, and I am convinced that we will, continue to take steps to complete the cleanup, reconstruct our airport terminal, rebuild our homes, reconstruct our hotels and restaurants, and ultimately secure the recovery of our economy. As we face this challenge, we can do so with the knowledge and resolve that we have been down difficult paths before and we overcame. I therefore believe that we will continue to progress and rebound stronger together again. This through concerted national action in collaboration with Kingdom and international partners. And for that, I am, as always, counting on my trust in the boundless strength and resilience of we, the people of St. Martin. May we therefore, with love for our country, encourage, build, support, and lift each other up, and thus our country with the help of God. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless St. Martin and protect its coast.
The proceeding was the National Day of Reflection message on the first anniversary of Hurricane Irma by Governor of St. Martin, His Excellency Dr. Anders Eugene Holliday.